Morning, everyone. I hope everyone's day is great. I know mine is. Anyway, I know I've been off for a while, but I'll get into that in a few minutes. But anyway, I want to thank all who listens to my videos, and I see that we're all making progress, and I am so proud of all of you all around the world. And again, thank you for being here. I want to know, something to think about, or what you would do. If you had a chance to start over with someone, would you? Or just don't meet them again? I know what I would do, but that's between myself. But let's get into it. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I don't think it's going to be long because I have a lot to do. But I've been off for a while, like I said. And I had to get to, somewhere to send this video to someone to put it up. But as the title, well, part of it, with these ones, you thought I didn't know. And also, why I decided to leave, also to send this video. And again, also, that you thought I wouldn't know what someone did to something, I sent. We're all thought I am still, where I used to be. Keep saying my team's there. And they told me, the thing is, well, I don't feel sorry for you at all. And you're effing disgusting. Not only that, when I was told I also spoke to God to make sure that all of you will know that I knew the whole time. You see, you all thought, or I should say, you all forget that I broke all the curses, years ago, like years ago, the ancestral chains and etc. I'm not going to get into it, except one, okay, which was put on to protect and to say to whoever you try or you do anything and whatever you think is up your sleeve, you steal, well, all. You all know. That you will be cursed and punished according to what God has for all of you. When you think you can mess with, my family or myself. And, reason, I didn't take or break that curse, it's because it is, like I said, sealed, signed, and delivered by God. He kept it on. Plus, you thought I was stupid, that you thought that I would break that one too? No. Think again. That's if you can, think on your own. You thought I didn't know that you found where I was. And, was amazed how many were around, like as a setup. You think I didn't know that? Wow. Not to let you down, but ask yourself, how do you think you found me? Huh? And you thought that, where I was, that I was going to be scared or what? Huh? If I was scared, why would I just go outside? 1 a.m., 3 a.m. I even went outside, you know, 9, 11 p.m. Well, put it this way, all hours. And you didn't think that I played into it, what I was doing when I went outside, the all hours. And when, the setup ones just started speaking to me, of course I was nice as pie. But I was also protected from all the energy, all of, their energy and my energy that you couldn't feel, if you were trying to connect or whatever. The energy you felt was what God decided to give you. And whatever, was said, with some under their breath, and some sounded like a different language. And, when I said that I couldn't understand, they spoke English. Well, they said that they were. But you didn't think that it wasn't being returned back? Well, other than to them, but also whoever sent them. But I want to ask you, or did you forget that too? Did you think that, my team wasn't around me? I knew what was going on. But, I forgot you thought that I wouldn't have them. But let's not forget why I had to leave and go find somewhere to send for, to the person who will be putting this video up. Because, let's say, you thought making my phone not, working with, the internet or making calls that I needed to, that I wouldn't have other ways to make the phone calls. I mean, the internet and seeing whatever, that came up, or try to see what I usually do, that I wouldn't find a way with that either. Well, if I wanted to. Okay. It's like you think also that God isn't seeing or hearing me, or what you are all doing. You see, God heard me, what I told him. Well, you don't need to know, since you think I'm oblivious with everything. You don't need to know what I told them to do. You see, I was there. See, I saw what I needed. And to say that that was, the Italian kiss from me to you, that is being returned to whoever and who sent them. And the other places I went, before there, and after. Some you didn't even know I was there. But with that, you weren't supposed to know. So again, I will say, you keep thinking all this bothers me. What you think, you're doing is working. And all you're doing, with delaying whatever, making up lies to whoever, thinking you know who my person is, thinking, to stop them, and whatever. You see, you see, 5-year-olds do, as you know, being childish. I guess that's the age you liked, so you continue to be. You think you're funny, and etc. Whatever you think. Well, the answer is no. It don't bother me as much as it bothers all of you. You see, it bothers you because it doesn't bother me. But I'm not sure what bothers you more. That what all of you do isn't working. Or it doesn't bother me because I don't think about it. Or is it bothering you, thinking if you hurry up and do whatever and do everything over and over, that it's going to, skip over you, all of you. The karma or whatever's being returned back to senders. You think, as I said, what is going to return back in a huge way, that you think that it's going to skip over you. Nope. Good try, though. I'll give you that. Good try. You see, with some, don't think what happened while I was there at that one place, that all of you did it, and that something worked. Again, good try thinking that, but no, nothing worked. And you're going to get mad for me saying this. It was something else. also, sending when I send something to where you think where I was, where I live, and think that it's going to me. But I said that my team is there. But you think that it's going to my team when I'm not there? Huh. Think again. It's like they are protected too. And don't you think that, they know what to do? But you think they're stupid too. Okay. I mean, they've been with me since I was a baby. And then even more since I was 15. That they've been around, all of us. That I wouldn't have told them and they wouldn't have learned what to do. Okay. I'm just saying, And I was told to remind you. But I'll say it again. It's sad how ones think they know me. And who I am. And who I should be with. And think that I get jealous of what any of you do, and etc. As I said, I don't need to be like any of you. And no one tells me who I should be with, except for God. I don't need to be jealous of anything when I could do anything if I wanted to. And I don't need to be jealous who any of you are with. For what? If that person was meant for me, we would be already. I don't need, I don't look at anyone's person, to steal them. Or be second fiddle. For what? To be looked at in shame? Why would I do that in the first place when I'd rather be with my own forever person? You know, when I meet anybody or a couple, both are the same to me. I don't need to steal or whatever. You know, it depends on how close. You know, I see both as a friend or, you know, a sibling, you know, how a sibling would be, or etc. Even if we're not close, it will still be the same, you know. You're together, I'll be happy for you. Point blank. You know, if I know anything, you should know. I'll tell you. It's like everyone forgets. Everyone is unique in their own way. So I don't need all that. I don't need to be like someone. I'd rather be me. You see, it takes, to be me, it takes less effort to do anything because I know who I am. You know, see, now if I did it, but you see what you all don't realize. I mean, it's not only, you know, me that people are trying to be or act like or pretend to be and whatever, or think that they're better than who, you know, better than whoever. The thing is, it takes way too much energy to plan out whatever, you know, to be somebody else. It, you know, you're using way too much activity in your brain to remember everything what whoever, but you know, if I was going to try to be like all of you, that it will take too much to remember everything what all of you do. to be like you or like them, whoever you decide. And remember, all the lies that you have to, keep track of to be them, or all the lies that, you're speaking bad about a person. I'd rather be myself. It takes less effort because I know myself. So why would anyone do that? What you are all doing. I know I wouldn't. Plus, for anyone to be me, well, you will never be. I change every second. And you don't know me. You might think, but no. And you won't ever figure me out or anything. And as I said, God signed, sealed, and delivered that one too, to make sure. But not only with me, my family too. Which I'm not going to say what that means. I said it a long time ago. I think it's on my bio. I don't know. I have to look. But anyway, you see, all that, it will always be a mystery and private. But, you want to keep on playing, whatever. But it's on you. But also where I was, and like I said, you see, you knew. And to see if it was going to be how you wanted it. See, I knew that. See, there's two things of hows. How you knew where I was and how it turned out where I was. See, I knew all that. It's like, duh, what do you think the reason was I ended up there? And you knew. Hmm. But you see, you also have to remember, I had masters who taught me and taught me to be patient. That took a lot. Taught me how to play all your games and whatevers. And let's not forget, you see, since I was a baby, I only needed maybe 3 hours of sleep. And then it got into, 3 hours that could last, a week. See, I don't need a lot of sleep. So, who do you think will get tired first? All of you or me? Hmm? I can't remember the whole entire song, but the only thing that, and I love the song too, where they say it's like chasing you. I mean, that, wait a minute, how's that go? You're like chasing the clouds. Something like that. You know what I mean, but yeah, you see, I know how to move with the clouds. Can't keep up. The only ones, you know, well, my person, God, and ones who I keep close, my family, which I'm not going to say, you know. But who do you think will be punished by God? Hmm? For doing harm, messing with the wrong person, the wrong ones. Huh? Doing delaying. You know, you all know what you do. I mean, technically, I think so does everybody else. And whatever else to others. Who do you think will get punished? I know it's not going to be me. That's for sure. And getting karma, huh? Up the wazoo. To make it clear, English wise, or, to understand what wazoo means, you see, it will be a huge punishment, you know, around the world long. And it also means up your butt, to be blunt. So tell me. And don't think that I can't see, where what you did when I sent to my, you know, team something that you're still sending, entities or whatever. Like, I don't know that. I mean, hi, you've been sending them for a week now. Even more. I mean, you really think that I don't know any of this? Okay. Whatever floats your boat. So, as everyone says, it's like, I mean, not only for me, but don't you think that it is time that ones start speaking to, loved ones, in heaven, or start speaking to Jesus or whoever, God, who created everything, to, I spoke about how to, look for signs. If you don't want to, I don't know, if you only wanted to speak to a loved one or whatever, they can do the same, guide you. It's like, you're still here, okay? You wake up every morning, you go about your day and whatever else. Doesn't that tell you something? I mean, you made it this far. So, in a way, you're using your intuition, you know, or maybe, without you knowing it, maybe you should get to know that you see the signs to keep you going. And you got this far. So why don't you, since it's not only for these ones, it's like you like playing a game, because once you realize all the signs, it changes everything. It's like not a game, but it's so much fun. And, waking up, having another chance to get out there and making a difference and the right choices. Why would anybody mess that up? Especially because of, I don't know, you decide why you would mess something up. To harm somebody or to do whatever, or pretend to be someone else, when deep inside of you, you are your own unique person that God made. And why would you get into anybody's business for the wrong reasons, when you could be out there, helping others that are struggling to be where you are, or how to get started on something, or helping them to know what they can do that can make a difference, or whatever. I'm not around everyone or where you are to notice things. But so stop worrying about my business or trying to figure out if anyone knows me, to ask them questions about me. Thing is, you thought all of you knew me. Nobody knows me. Well, figure me out. Unless I want them to. And only worry about what's going to happen to you if you continue to do what you're not supposed to. And constantly, being in my business, when you all you should have, figured it out by now that I'm the wrong person to mess with. You should be worrying about, like I said, what's going to happen, and worry about what's around you. And stop worrying about if, I'm going to say anything about any of you. Well, how anyone will know about any of you. You will all do it to each other and on your own. I don't need to do anything. And remember, if I wanted to take revenge and whatever, I would have done it by now. And you also forget that God would do all that for me. Not only God, all of heaven. And we already know when I say heaven, that also means the underworld too. Okay? Remember, I've been doing this since I was a baby. Even before I was a baby, I was born. Also, remember the beginning, what I said, and also in the other videos, the time kiss. That, well, I'll let you know that's coming. And that I left. That means that now the only thing to worry about is, well, when God in heaven is sneaking up. I mean, he already started. I already said that. I mean, see, now it's down here. It's already taken care of in spirit. Remember, I was in spiritual court and I saw everything. I'm not going to say where all or some or whatever where you are. It's not up to me to tell you. That's up to God to tell you. Or you figure out how to, how to figure it out. I mean, there's plenty of times. But, like I said, I'm doing me and whatever I have to. I don't have time to, I'm not saying that I don't, in between, in private, when, God says, this way there's no interference or whatever. Oh yeah, you're still trying to do that, but it's not working. Every second, I'm being taught something. Just saying. I mean, it's another thing that someone will get mad. But listen up. More you get mad, you better watch, the faces that you use, or it will stay that way. Okay? Now, don't think that I'm better than you. I'm not. It's not my fault that I decided not to get God, Jesus, and etc., or anyone of heaven and spirit or the underworld angry. I know that. I chose who I wanted to be by going on the right path and having two sides of me. Remember, that's still out. So, whatever I choose, if you don't like it, keep moving. I choose not to harm people. If you choose that, keep going. So don't get mad at me if I don't choose that. That's your problem, not mine. I don't get into anyone's business unless I have to. And that's when you get into mine. So I don't tell you what to do. If you want to listen, you listen. I mean, what did you want me to say or do? Get angry because you didn't want to listen? Well, that's up to you. I say what I have to. You listen, you listen. That's how I am. But I do have a right to be angry, to speak up for myself. especially when you're wrong about me. And I will speak up about anyone if I hear someone talking, bad about a person. I mean, doesn't matter if it is true or if it isn't. The thing is, what's wrong is that, especially when, you speak so nice to that person, but, you know, you speak crap to whoever behind their backs. But you also forget, while you're in those little groups speaking crap about someone behind their back, whoever started that conversation, don't you think that they're speaking crap about you also? And, the ones in that group? I mean, all of you know that you speak crap about each other, but don't say anything. So if each other are speaking crap, don't you think that they're speaking crap about all of you, I know I said that wrong, but you get what I mean. That you think that, oh, they're only speaking crap about one person in the group to all of you, except for that person, obviously. No. It's a vicious cycle. You see, people don't know how to be, kind or, lift anyone's spirits up. Because, they think that because nobody did it for them or, whatever, why they are, in this state of thinking that, they're still in middle school or whatever, that they can bully, harm, or whatever. That they don't realize that they have themselves to, boost themselves up. That they do make a difference. They can make a difference. I mean, all this cycle needs to continue to, change and disappear for the better. There's a lot of progress on that, though. God sees everything. Start worrying about what's around you and making it better instead of making others miserable because that's where you are. Learn and start boosting yourself up. Everyone isn't this. Everyone's the same. We bleed like everyone. You know, we have the everyday, bills and whatever. But all of us are different, being unique. I mean, think about that and start doing what's right instead of bringing everyone down. Stop listening to negativity and then pushing it on to others. Because remember, well, I'm not saying with some, but, most of us would. What happens if it's happening to, your your children or someone you knew or whatever? Wouldn't you stand up for them and say, don't do that, or, whatever? So why would you do it to somebody else? Just saying. But anyway, this is long enough. I have to go. I have a lot to do. But I hope this helps. And everyone have a great morning, day, night, evening, whatever. Wherever you are and whatever time it is. And again, thank you. Ciao.